Southern Mississippi's Golden Eagles host number 23 Marshall at the Rock. We'll take a look at all the highlights. We'll also hear from former Golden Eagle quarterback Brett Favre and meet Golden Eagles senior defensive end Nick Beckers. And look ahead to this week's game against the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio. That and a whole lot more coming up today on Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Todd Monken.
This edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with Todd Monken is presented by Bancorp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by Hattiesburg Coca-Cola. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. The City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, we love logistics. One Mississippi, now open for small business. And the University of Southern Mississippi. It's great to be a Golden Eagle. We'll be back with This Week in Southern Miss Football right after this.
What if you could create a bank that's just right for you? It'd have to be reliable, right? Familiar and dependable. But you'd also want big-time resources and financial tools to help you take care of the things that are important to you. You'd want a personal banker, someone who really knows you and can help you manage your assets, like offering a complete host of wealth management services. And there you go, Bancorp South. A bank that's, well, just right for you. Bancorp South, right where you are.
Well, hi, everybody. Welcome to Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Todd Monken, presented by Bancorp South. Golden Eagles were home last weekend. It was the homecoming weekend on campus. They took on the number 23 Marshall Thundering Herd. And Todd, you got off to an electric start. You get the opening kickoff. You drive 75 yards for a touchdown. Then onside kick, recover it, go down and score. You're up 14-0. Then have a chance to get another onside kick, or offsides. But heck of a way to start the ball game on Saturday night.
Well, the theme all week was to see if we could score more longer, see if we could possess the ball and score and keep it away from their explosive offense. And we did that to start the game. We had planned on utilizing an onside kick till they got it. We were going to continue to kick onsides, and unfortunately we made a mental error and gave them a chance to get the ball, and then we didn't cover a kick. And then what's kind of been our theme for the year is we found a way to kill momentum, and we killed momentum there early in the game. That we had a chance to really seize the game, and really they might not have had the ball the whole first quarter.
They got a chance early too in the ball game. Rakeem Cato, their great quarterback, who's one of those guys that can make something out of nothing. You had him sort of trapped down there deep in our territory. It looked like you're going to get a sack, maybe a loss of yardage, and he somehow scrambles out of there, throws a touchdown pass.
No doubt. Had him in, we didn't get him in many third downs, just didn't, and we had one there. Looked like we were going to get out of it, force him to kick a field goal, and he made a great play. When
you look at the ball game on Saturday night from the defensive standpoint, what were some things that they were able to do that caused the Golden Eagles the most trouble?
Well, I think the number one thing that caused trouble was the athleticism of Rakeem Cato. And that's probably where it all starts, is that you think you've got him bottled up, he escapes. They were able to run the ball effectively. And like I said, we never really got him in third downs. Whenever we thought we had him bottled up when they were throwing it, he found a way to escape and run and keep him out of third downs.
One of the bright spots, though, the freshman Ito Smith, I thought had a great night running the football. I think he wound up with 147 yards. Much more effective running the football than you'd been the last couple of weeks.
Well, we were. I thought our guys up front did a great job. I thought Ito ran hard, along with Jalen and Tez at the end of the game. I thought they ran hard. I thought they took the challenge of trying to play better and be able to take some of the pressure off Cole.
Well, it was Southern Miss and the Marshall Thundering Herd on Saturday night at the Rock. Let's go back and take a look at all the action. Cameron Tom, the Golden Eagles center, snaps it back.
And Weeks a slant over the middle. That's going to be caught by Ricard. He's got a first down. And Richard now gets behind Weeks in the formation. Weeks takes a snap, gives it to Richard, who's got a pretty good hole off the right side. Weeks with Richard along his left side, takes a snap, fakes, and then throws it back. Right side caught by Richard at the 40, at the 30, and down to near the 26. Ito Smith is the deep man. Richard is the fullback. Handoff Ito left side, and he got in. Touchdown, Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles start the ball game with a 75-yard touchdown drive. It's 6-0 Southern Miss. There's a Costas kick. He's an onside kick. It's loose, and the Eagles trying to get it. Did they get it? They got on top of it, and it's Southern Miss football. And the handoff to Ito breaks away down the left side, 15, 10, he's at the 5, and down to about the 2-yard line before he's taken off his feet. The line did a great job to open up a hole for Ito, but boy, he shot out of there like he was out of a cannon. Weeks takes a handoff and going to give it to Ito, and he's in for a touchdown, Southern Miss. And the Eagles take a 13-0 lead on the Marshall Thundering Herd, and Ito Smith gets it in for the second time tonight. First down and 10 Marshall there at the Golden Eagle 38. Cato hands it off to Watson, and he's caught by the jersey by the Golden Eagles and brought down for no gain. Cato hands it off to Watson, who got hit and dropped back around the 38-yard line. Cole takes the snap, play action fake, throws it left side, caught by Casey, spins inside to the 40. Snap back, plays down, Costas kicks on the way, long enough, and it's going to be good. And the Golden Eagles get back on the scoreboard. Eagles bring Michael in motion. Weeks takes the snap, throws it over the middle, and that one's caught for a first down, Southern Miss. He takes the snap, hands it off to the running back, Watson. He got hit and tackled for a loss. Watson and Cato back there. Cato takes the snap. Here come the Golden Eagles. They sack him back inside the 5 at the 1. Boy, they sent everybody, and Jacorius Cotton coming on the safety blitz got Cato back inside the 5. Cato takes the snap, leaves it with Watson, who's trying to sweep left, and the Eagles going to hit him for a loss. They're going to drop him back at the 48-yard line in that pistol formation, and going to leave it with Jalen, who cut back, big hole at the 20, cuts back at the 25, and gets out to the 31-yard line. Snap back, hand off to the running back, slips a tackle, slips another. Ito on the move at the 50, 45, 40. Ito's going to take it down inside the Marshall 30 to the 28 before Taj Letman tracks him down, and big night for Ito Smith carrying the football. Marshall 4-down lineman. Weeks takes the snap, looks and throws right side, and caught over the shoulder by Triplett. And going to keep it himself, and that time the Eagles got him. And Parse gets the handoff and takes off around the left side and going to take it out across the 35. The Golden Eagles lose their 3rd in a row. They go to 3-7 and 1-5 in Conference USA. Final score, Marshall 63, Southern Miss 17.
Got him in group as a go.
Yes! Not just a startup, an upstart.
Gotta get going. Gotta be good.
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 Growth is the goal. How do we do that?
I talked to UPS. They'll help us out. New technology, smart advice. We focus on the business, and they take care of the logistics.
UPS.
Good going.
We get good. That's great.
Great. Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
Great.
I love logistics.
One Mississippi, your health insurance marketplace, is open for small business. I'm Mississippi's Insurance Commissioner Mike Cheney, and I'm proud to say that One Mississippi is a one-stop shop where small business owners with 50 or fewer full-time employees can shop, compare, and choose from several flexible and affordable health insurance options. Enroll online at onemississippi.com or through an insurance agent. One Mississippi, now open for small business.
I've heard you say before that there's a lot of places you can go play football, but you got to go somewhere where the guys at the NFL can see you play, and it doesn't do you any good if you're on a famous college team but you're a third string guy and not get a chance to play. So you got to go somewhere where you get a chance to play.
Yeah, you know, and that's always a toss-up because you just never know. I've been a perfect example. Even at Southern Miss, no one knew who I was. I remember David Bounds, our old equipment manager, telling me I wanted number 10, and he said, "You'll take 4 or you don't take nothing." I said, 4 sounds good. But again, it worked out. But what I tell people all the time, don't get blinded by, oh, this school's after me, this school. You need to look at where is the best chance that I can play. And I mean, if your goal is to play at the highest level, the more you can play at the college level, the better off you are. And so you may be an All-American linebacker, but you go to Alabama, you may be the 6th and never get a chance to play. So I wouldn't do it any differently, obviously. And I tell people this all the time. I mean, you have to look at that aspect of it. And I think a lot of times people don't think about it, and then they go somewhere and they get stuck. Only one guy can play quarterback at a time. You know, there's 4 or 5 receivers that start, but when can you play the quickest? And I mean, people will know you at Southern Miss. I mean, Austin Davis is starting it for the Rams right now. We have but Jamie Collins has a big pick the other day. If you're good and they'll know it, but they won't know it unless you're playing. So that's my advice to these young kids.
Talk about Austin Davis is I guess the first Southern Miss quarterback to start in the league since you did. Just give us your thoughts sort of on Austin, on how well I know you've been around him a little bit, but just give us your thoughts on Austin Davis.
Well, like you and I were talking prior to this interview, I had a lot of friends, national media, who've asked me, man, are you surprised by what Austin's been able to do or you know, what he's capable of? And I kind of read between the lines like, you know, that they're totally surprised by this guy and that he's a flash in the pan. Well, time will tell. Will he continue playing all that stuff? But I am not surprised, and I made the comment to them that you can't sit here and tell me that you thought Tom Brady and Kurt Warner were going to be Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Now, by no means am I saying Austin Davis is a Hall of Fame quarterback, but I'm not saying he can't be either. What I believe and think is that given the chance, and that's the key, other guys will get chances based on where they're drafted, and he's kind of at the bottom end of the totem pole, and almost by default, you have to. There's a huge amount of pressure on him to succeed now, rather than, well, we'll give him another year, we'll give him another year. You know, he's our high pick. We got to, you know, Austin knows it's do or die, and I think he has done extremely well. I think he's done better than extremely well, given the situation of the whole team and the circumstances in which he went in. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to succeed in this league anyway. But he's kind of had to do it all himself here in the latter part of games, and I think he's played exceptionally well. But I'm not surprised. He's got the talent. He's got the knowledge. He was a good, sound starter for 4 years in a really good system, and he was very productive, and he won a lot of big games. So I'm not surprised one bit.
You're in the Southern Miss Athletic Hall of Fame. Next year you go in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. That's got to be kind of neat because I'm sure there's a lot of guys that you watch play and idolize that are already in there. So that's got to be kind of neat to go in.
Well, I tell you what, Mississippi, I tell people this all the time. Not all the players, high school football players, because I coached high school football, as you know, in Mississippi, and of course my dad did it for years, but the game has changed a bunch, but still it's high school football in Mississippi. There's some pretty doggone good players that come out of Mississippi. Not all of them stay in state, but there's some good players, and all you got to do is look to the players that are all-time greats in the league, the National Football League. Walter Payton, just 25 minutes down the road. Jackie Slater, Jerry Rice, Ray Guy. You know, we're talking about best at their position and forever. I mean, that's impressive. Archie, myself, you know, so I mean, there's some pretty good players that come out of the state, and to be in any Hall of Fame is an honor. They're all kind of coming at once, but you know what? Sure beats alternative.
What if you could create a bank that's just right for you? It'd have to be reliable, right? Familiar and dependable. But you'd also want big-time resources and financial tools to help you take care of the things that are important to you. You'd want a personal banker, someone who really knows you and can help you manage your assets, like offering a complete host of wealth management services. And there you go, Bancorp South. A bank that's, well, just right for you. Bancorp South, right where you are.
And we're back, Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Todd Monken, presented by Bancorp South. Time now to visit with one of our Golden Eagle seniors, and this young man is an interesting story. Nick Beckers out of Perry, Georgia. He was I guess they call it a preferred walk-on when he came to Southern Miss. He's a guy that sort of bulked up a little bit and turned into a pretty good player for you, Todd. A guy that has started once or twice in his career. Mostly he's been a special teams guy and a backup guy. Talk about Nick a little bit.
He's been a valuable member, special teams wise. We've utilized him a lot. He's been excellent on third downs, using him as a pass rusher, and he's gotten better and better. I've only been here for 2 years of his career, but an unbelievable team player, and again, has worked himself into being a player. When he came here, I think he was under 200 pounds, and now he's up close to 240.
Yeah, he's a guy who, as I said, is one of those that's willing to do whatever it takes to help the team win, sort of accepts his role, whatever that turns out to be, and finds a way to contribute as best he can.
Sure does, and he's always willing to do whatever we ask him to do. We've used him in a number of, a variety of areas, special teams wise, and then, you know, when he's been called upon, third downs, he's done a nice job getting pressure.
Well, Nick Beckers out of Perry, Georgia, a guy who came to Southern Miss several years ago, going to graduate and make some big contributions to this football team. So let's spend a few minutes and meet Golden Eagle defensive end, Nick Beckers.
I had a preferred walk-on, and that means you don't have to try out. You're just guaranteed a spot on the team, and you come in the summer session like the scholarship athletes. Just your school's not paid for, and your food and your apartment. And that was kind of hard being from Georgia. You know, we had to overcome the out-of-state tuition, and that was a lot. But we figured out a way to get it, you know, get the money there. So I came here, and just earning a scholarship was my #1 goal. And the amount of respect that you get having a scholarship, that was probably the coolest part. Not just getting my apartment paid for, or my tuition, the respect I got from, you know, my fellow athletes, from not just getting it given to me, but earning it. That's probably the best part. I came in at 190 pounds, and that was hard. I just had surgery, so I did lose a couple pounds from high school, but I was still, you know, super light even when I played in high school. And I came in with Coach Bennett, and he put some weight on me, and then Coach Jackson, he really put about 30 or 40 pounds on me in the course of a year and a half, you know, when he was here. And it was good weight. It wasn't fat. It wasn't, you know, just bulk. It was lean. And that's when I kind of learned how to run and jump and play football the right way, I guess you could say. And just having the extra weight made it easier. Being 190 pounds trying to play defensive end at a collegiate level was nearly impossible. But being 240, 250 pounds, you know, that's when you can actually, you know, fight for a spot and play. Well, I hope to get a good job one day, like everybody everybody wants. And I graduated in May with my undergrad in business administration, and now I'm currently pursuing my master's, my MBA. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to that right now. I haven't really made any long-term goals because I need to focus on what's in front of me. And the master's it's hard, but you know, hopefully this time next year I'll have a master's degree. And after that, I think I want to go out and get a job for a couple of years, you know, on the corporate level, and then come back and take over the family business. I think that's the long-term goal, just kind of right now.
One Mississippi, your health insurance marketplace, is open for small business. I'm Mississippi's Insurance Commissioner Mike Cheney, and I'm proud to say that One Mississippi is a one-stop shop where small business owners with 50 or fewer full-time employees can shop, compare, and choose from several flexible and affordable health insurance options. Enroll online at onemississippi.com or through an insurance agent. One Mississippi, now open for small business.
From the very beginning, your life is made up of a series of moments. Each moment requires you to make a choice. Sometimes you don't really have much of a choice. But for the moments that you do, the big moments, what will you choose? Choose to discover your own path, to defy expectations, to be challenged. Choose to ask, what if? To make a difference. Choose to give back. Choose to do something that matters and make every moment count. Choose Southern Miss.
Look at that. Brett Favre. Justin Verlander. Graham McDowell. Karl Malone. Randy Moss. All players from Conference USA schools. The question is, who is the next Favre? Who's the next Verlander? The next Moss? We're about to find out.
And we're back, Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Todd Monken, presented by Bancorp South. Todd, before we talk about this week's opponent, the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio, let's talk about the seniors. We'll see the seniors in the next show. Spend a little more time with I think there's 18 guys will be honored prior to the final home game against UAB. But this is a senior class. There's only about 8 or 9 scholarship guys in this senior class, and this is really a young football team where I guess the majority of the guys are freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and sophomores. But talk about this, the youth of this football team and how they're still kind of growing and learning the game a little bit.
Well, there's a number of those seniors that we'll miss, you know, that I think a number of them have seen the championship team and been a part of 2011, and yet have been a major part of our resurgence in trying to bring this program back to prominence. And we are a young team. I think whenever you have a number of coaching changes, there's attrition. So we've got a really good young nucleus of players, and the leadership those guys have provided has been invaluable, and our future is bright.
I was going to ask you that's a good point, that this is a senior class that they really kind of take some of those young guys under their shoulders and or under their wings rather, and try to show them how the game's supposed to be played and what it takes to be a Southern Miss football player.
They have, and it's been difficult for them, you know, for when they came in terms of the winning and the expectations, and then to go through what they've gone through. And they're the survivors. I mean, there's been a number of guys that have just decided, I don't want to do this. It's too hard. I don't want to fight through this and work without the guarantee of the benefit of the wins and singing the fight song. So those guys will always hold a special place, and I know our coach's heart and my heart.
All right, let's talk about the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio. First ever meeting between the Roadrunners and the Golden Eagles. It's been a short week for the Golden Eagles to get ready. What's the challenge there to try to get ready just 5 days or so after you've played a game to have to play another one?
Well, it's interesting. You know, when I was in the NFL, you'd play a Sunday game and play Thursday. That's even 1 day shorter. That's crazy. This here basically is, you're going to have to do what you do well. You don't have a lot of time to scheme up things and try to get them repped. Whatever you've done over the course of a year, you've got to pull from. And you've got to make sure you get the guys' bodies back. You've got to give them rest. You've got to get their legs back so we can play fast Thursday night.
When you take a look at this UTSA ball club, they got off to a really good start this year. Win over Houston. They had a win, I think, over Old Dominion early on. Then almost a victory, I think, at Arizona State. Then I think they've had some injuries. So when you see them on tape, what stands out about UTSA?
Well, they've got a group of 15 seniors that are starters. I mean, they had the most returning starters in the country, and all of these players were the beginning stages of UTSA football. So they play hard. They've had some close losses. They had a tough opening season. Houston, Oklahoma State, Arizona State. They've had a tough slate of teams they're playing. Lost some close games, and then they had some issues at quarterback, and that's really derailed them because they've been pretty good on defense. They just haven't been moving the ball consistently the last 3 or 4 games.
I was going to say probably the strength of this team is their defense. They've got a lot of those seniors on that defensive side of the football. They're really good defensively.
They are. They've got, I think, 7 or 8 senior starters. They've got 7 or 8 on offense. They're all mature. Just, again, hopefully this Thursday is not the night they put it all together.
And you mentioned offensively. How does Larry Coker, how do they like to play offensively? Obviously, maybe they're limited now that they've had so many injuries over there, but when they're at full strength, how do they like to play?
Well, they're now playing 2 quarterbacks. Their original senior starter, who wasn't a returning starter, but had started the year off, got hurt. And so they've been playing this redshirt freshman. They're a little bit different. One's more of a thrower, one's more of an athletic runner. So they've got a couple different packages when they put them in. But they're multiple. They use tight ends. They formation you. They've got a number of formations that force you to adjust and process quickly and get lined up.
I would think a couple of challenges this week. One is the short week, but then a pretty good UTSA ball club. So I guess those would be the biggest challenges this week.
No doubt. Who handles the short week? I mean, who comes back fresh, energized, excited about playing on Thursday night on TV? And I know our guys will be excited.
All right, Todd, well, thanks for the visit. We'll see you out there for the ball game, which is coming up, as a matter of fact, in just a bit after this show is over. And then we'll see you, of course, next week here on Southern Miss Sports Today.
You bet, John.
All right, Coach Todd Monken and the Golden Eagles getting set, as we said, in just a bit to take on the Roadrunners of Texas San Antonio. And don't forget to join us next week, next Wednesday, at Mugshots Grill and Bar in Hattiesburg for the Golden Eagle Hotline. Come on by, talk a little Golden Eagle football. That'll do it. Have a great week, everybody. See you next time. Another inside look into Golden Eagle football.
This edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with Todd Monken has been presented by Bancorp South, right where you are. And brought to you in part by Hattiesburg Coca-Cola. Want a taste of everything? Drink Coke Zero with real Coke taste and 0 calories. The City of Hattiesburg, a proud sponsor of Southern Miss Athletics. UPS, we love logistics. One Mississippi, now open for small business. And the University of Southern Mississippi. It's great to be a Golden Eagle. This has been a presentation of IMG, America's home for college sports.